In today's video, we're taking a look at how to install a kitchen's backsplash. And this is a project that easily could be done on a weekend. And if you do it yourself, it's very cost effective and it's gonna last you a long time. And this backsplash is a nice upgrade to your kitchen. In our future video, we're gonna do a kitchen cabinet upgrade for under $100. The first thing that we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and measure the space that we want to tile. And we do that by measuring both sides and where the stove goes. We're going to use this drawing as an example. Let's say on side 1 we have 2 feet of height and 4 feet of width. So what we do is we times it 2 feet by 4 feet. So that side is 8 square feet. Then we do that for the middle, 1 feet by 3 feet. So that's 3 square feet. Then the other side, which is 2 feet by 5 feet, we have 10 feet. Then we go ahead and add all 3 sides. So that's 8 feet, 3 feet plus 10 feet. That would equal a total of 21 square feet. But we always add a 10% extra for tiles that break or any imperfection that may come on the tile. So that means we're gonna go ahead and buy 23.1 square feet. You can always round that number up to the next nearest number. So that would be 24. And these are the things that we're gonna need for today. We're gonna use pre-mixed mortar, and we do that to make life just a little bit more easier, meaning that anybody could do it. Our pre-mixed grout, in this case we went with white, but you could choose any color. A grout sealer, you may need a level, gloves, a tile snipping cutter, a regular tile cutter, cleaning towels, a spatula, a trowel, a grout float, a sponge, a bucket of water, spacers according to the grout size you want, and you may need kitchen caulk, and most importantly, your tiles. You can choose from different colors, from different designs. Today we chose the classic subway tiles. Always remember that safety is the #1 thing. Let's go ahead and turn off the breakers for the outlets in the kitchen. We're gonna make sure that the outlets do not have electricity, because the last thing you want on a clear sunny day is to die. Let's go ahead and remove the face plates from the outlets. If you have any molding on your walls or on top of the countertops, this would be the time to remove them. Using a blade first would avoid paint chipping or paint pulling. Let's go ahead and repair any holes on the wall. And now we're done with phase 1. Let's take your bucket of water, a little bit of soap, and let's clean the walls. Remove any stains or grease. After the wall dries, now we could go ahead and cover up the countertops. Before starting, you can do a dry run of the tiles on the wall, and we do that to see where each tile is gonna land, and it makes it easier to know now before we go ahead and actually glue them to the wall. But once you place the tile with mortar on the wall, you still have about half an hour to an hour before it really dries. So that means you don't have to be scared. Let's go ahead and take our trowel and mortar and start placing it on the wall in 1 feet to 2 feet sections, always starting from one of the corners. And remember, we do that because there is a limited time until the mortar starts to dry. And we place the mortar on the wall with the flat side of the trowel. Once we have the 1 feet or 2 feet section, then we twist to the ridges part and basically make ridges on the mortar, and this helps the tile stick better. we can go ahead and start placing tiles on the wall. There are many designs to placing the tiles on the wall. The one you choose at the end is your preference, because remember, at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to look at it for the rest of your life. It may be your kids, grandkids, or when your house gets sold on an estate sale, those people buying it are going to look at it too. When placing the second tile, we want to add a spacer in the middle, and when placing a tile on top, we want to place two spacers, one at the left and one at the right. In this case, we're showing the straight line design, but ultimately we're going to lay them the brick style way. Once you finish with your section of 1 feet or 2 feet, then we go ahead and repeat the process once again. If choosing a brick style design, we're going to go ahead and start with the bottom lane first. Then we add the second lane starting at the halfway point of the first lane, meaning where two meet in the middle, we're going to place one on top of that on its center. If you have any sagging tiles or popping out tiles or moving tiles, you can always use tape to hold them down. And now we're going to take a look at the simple cuts. What we want to do is take a permanent marker and mark where we want to make the cut at the bottom and at the top. We go ahead and take the tile now to the tile cutter, ask it what does it want for its last meal before it gets cut in half. So what we do is we scorch it with the blade on the tile cutter, and you could do that 1 to 3 times. We place the divider on top of the tile and press down, and this is going to split the tile where you scorched it. And that is how babies are made. Congratulations, they're twins. These simple cuts are going to be good for the corners or the ends, but when working on the outlets, you might need the tile snipper pliers, and this one can be used to do straight lines or curves. Just remember to mark your tile with the permanent marker where you want the cut to be. Always start little by little until you get closer to the mark. Now for the endings, we have the option of placing bullnose tiles, and these are the ones that have the curve at one end of the tile. Now that we placed the tiles, now we want to go ahead and remove any excess mortar left on the tiles. We can use a plastic spatula to scrape any excess. We can also use the spatula to remove any excess in between the tiles. Remember, we want to leave space for the grout. Now we're going to let them dry for 24 hours or according to the mortar that you're using. Now the second day, we're going to go ahead and take a damp sponge and clean off the tiles. We want to get them ready for the grout. Now using our float, we're going to go ahead and add the grout to the tiles. And we also want to do this in small sections. And you want to add a little bit of pressure to get inside. You might need to do up and down movements to get the grout in there. After getting full coverage on the tiles, now we could use the float to remove any excess. After removing the excess with the float, now we could use a damp sponge to remove any grout left on top of the tiles. And we do this in a circular motion. And remember, what we want to do is remove entirely any grout from the tile, but not where the grout goes. you may need to clean the tiles a couple of times with the damp sponge to get all the excess grout off. We're going to let the grout dry for 3 hours. After 3 hours, we want to clean the final haze of grout with a dry sponge, a towel, or a cheesecloth. Now we're going to wait 24 hours to 3 days, depending on your grout specifications on drying time, to place the grout sealer. Let's go ahead and apply the first coat of grout sealer to the wall. We're going to wait 5 minutes after applying it to clean any excess. And we could do that by using a clean towel or dry sponge. After we clean the excess, now we wait 30 minutes to give it a second coat. You can start patting yourself in the back because you're almost at the end. We can go ahead now and place the face covers to the outlets back. A pro tip, buying new ones is going to go a long way, and especially when you could get 2 for less than $1. You can go ahead and turn on your breaker. If you need to add caulking in between the countertop and the tile, this would be the time to do so. And now you could call yourself a boss. So go to that fridge and get that ice cold glass of lemonade. And don't forget, if you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up. That really helps. If you have any questions, place them in the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe, follow us on social media. Thank you for watching, and here's a link to our latest videos.